Hello, I'm called Tim, and it's a little past noon, which means I'm here with my live hangout. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I was running around and it's nice and hot outside. And if you look at many of my hangouts, you know I love the sun and I love the warmth. Um, I'm an ethnic group of the sun, so it's obvious that I love it. Don't wear shades, don't wear hats. Today I want to talk about the X-Men. Days of Futures Past. I saw it over the weekend and I really enjoyed it. First, uh, it deals with time, of course, going back in time, and it deals with actions. And you can have or commit one act, right, at the proper time, at the proper place, that could shift the whole empire in one direction. And in Days of Future Past, they try to go back and undo that act. And I find that interesting because I think that though almost none of us can literally go back in time to redo it. We don't have that capability yet. You can go back in time and see an act that was a mistake. And if you atone for it and you make reparations for that act, if you help the people who suffered from that act uh, out of their suffering, you can actually turn an empire from going one way to going another way just by going back, studying the act, and atoning for it, which is another way of traveling back in time to fix it. So I find that interesting, especially these days, because this empire is dead and it's going deeper into a pit. And there's some things that we can do to get the empire back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start my blog on one of my blogs, my educational blog. I'm going to start doing the POTUS, President of the United States campaigning. I'm going to be putting ideas up of what we could do now with the nation we have now to redirect it. X-Men also dealt with making when you fail at something, when you try your best and you fail, not letting it sink you. Sometimes when you fail, it's not your fault. Sometimes that's out of your hands. What you have to do is keep doing whatever work it is. Now, if the work is negative, if you do the work, you put out something, people follow you, and it causes a disaster, then you just come up with a new idea, a new work, a new kind of vision. But you should never let it sink you and hold you into or bring you into a state of despair. Because that's where all the alcoholism and all the drug addiction and all the shopaholic, gamblerholic, that's where all of that stuff starts to seep in. Let me think about some more issues that X-Men Days of Future Past came in. Oh, of course, the X-Men is always about our evolution as human beings. Um, there are some of us who have evolved to another level of consciousness. So we think beyond capitalism, beyond democracy, beyond all of these physical concepts that weren't around always, right? That have bound us, mind, body, and soul, so that we can break out of it. Now, we're considered flaky and out of it. I've been accused of being unrealistic many times until I had to sit down and really discuss why what I think is actually more real than what other people who say, well, you do what you got to do because you got to pay rent and you got to do these, you got bills. No. Nature provides shelter and food and even clothing. It always has, it always will. There's a ruling class that has conditioned us to believe that no, nature doesn't provide it. We, the elite, who do no work at all, provide it. So some of us have evolved out of that thinking um, back to a natural thinking and to a high level of consciousness. A lot of people still are in the old way. And X-Men deals with that because you have a few people with powers and the rest of humanity jealous of that power or afraid of it and wanting to destroy them because they've evolved. Well, if you destroy the people who evolve, humanity dies because evolution is survival. Okay, and then you're left with knuckleheads, and that's why we're devolving and we're going into a pit, especially in this society. But I think if you look around the world, every society, I heard the other day that there are Nazis in Athens, Greece. Now, Athens, Greece is supposed to be the citadel of democracy and philosophy for the Europeans. And there's Nazis there, especially in Athens. So that'll tell you where we are in this time and space. But those of us who are evolved, we're fighting and we're pushing. And we're going to keep pushing until we take our last breath. But anyway, that's what I got out of the movie, or a few things I got out of the movie. I like to save some things for you to enjoy. Go and see it if you haven't seen it yet. And if you don't get a chance to catch it, then definitely you must rent it or watch it on DVD. But watch it. Do any of my viewers or in the chat room have anything to say? Going once, going twice. Okay. Until next time, please take care of yourself. It's cruel out there.